That's when multiculturalism really got going.
Nothing like greed and money. It makes the world go round. Capitalism survives everything.
Yeah.
All right, anyone else? Any questions for any other panellists here, or all of them, or?
Yeah, why do you pick children instead of adults to write for?
I think children are more honest. Writing for children, you can write an adult story and adults will read it and go, oh yeah, that was all right. But children will say, I didn't like that. And or it was lovely. But yeah, I think I like the audience. I was a really bad reader when I was growing up, and I hated reading. I read my first novel all the way through in year 11 at school. Only because I had a brilliant English teacher in year 11 who got me into reading. Now I've got to keep my qualifications. And so when I started writing, I thought I could write adult novels, but I could also write books that I would have liked to have read when I was growing up. Because a lot of the books we had at school were like Wuthering Heights. And I thought, there's a movie, I can watch the movie. So I got the movie out and I got 15 minutes into the movie and thought, this is worse than the book.
It's pretty dark, because he actually digs her out of the grave.
Yeah.
It's really dark.
Yeah, so I thought, when I was growing up, I want to write the books that I would have liked to have read when I was growing up in that school. So that's probably the main reason that I write for children instead of adults. And I think the style is better too. There's no waffling in a children's book. Everything's got to be there for a reason. There's a lot more leeway with adults. You can have a few pages to waffle, and adults will just go, I'll just keep going, I'll go back to the book again. But kids, you get to the waffly bit, they'll put the book down and go and read something else. So it's...
And you're also competing against new technologies as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So in terms of illustration, I suppose you've got that in mind, like the images are so powerful that, you know, would keep the attention of your readership. And I suppose with plot lines and all of that, that I've spoken to writers before where they say there's more drama in their writing happens more often because you are competing against non-fiction. Well, that's okay. We obviously didn't have to. Now, in the audience, is there anyone here who is an aspiring author who wants to write children's fiction? Wonderful. Any questions from you guys?
Yeah. When you're doing fiction, like adult fiction, it comes from, you know, your sort of living conscious. But where do you think, like a young adult book would come from, and where do you think, like, the children's stories come from? As in the way of thinking when you're writing.
So this is inhabiting the mind of a child as an adult.
Yeah. Like,
how do you do that?
Yeah, you know, are you thinking as an adult for a child, or are you thinking as a child for another child?
I think you have to put yourself into the character. My first ever novel that never got published because it's awfully written. All the main characters were cats.
So obviously like cats.
Love cats. And trying to get into the mind, I didn't want to have like people disguised as cats. And just saying, well, they're cats, but they're actually people. And I actually sort of had a lot of thinking about how would a cat see that. So I spent a lot of time crawling around on the ground looking up at things. And I like to do that for like with kids as well. I think, well, how would a kid see that? And working in a school is brilliant because I get so many ideas for stories from working in the school. One of the kids will do something and I'll go, oh, that's got to go in the book sometime. And so just trying to get into their heads and see, like walking in their footsteps to see how they would see things. And so I know how I would see it, but how would they see that? It's hard. It's hard sort of trying to get into their brains. But I'm fairly immature, so that helps.
But you also need to have an imagination, don't you? You need to have an imagination to imagine another's life. But Would you also that a part of yourself is it are in the narratives and every single character is
Oh.
always